two different locations.
What's up?
And we are back again. It's your friendly neighborhood film watchers. We are Frankly Football. I'm your humble host, Brandon, and I got my man, 100 Grand. Set it off, Chris, with me. Chris, we got a game tomorrow. We here to decide how you feel about it.
How I feel about it?
Yeah. How you feel about this game coming up, man?
Hey, it's a Thursday night game. We had a week off. We're one of the hottest teams in football. I saw an NFL ranking, power ranking, say we're the number 8 in the NFL right now. So I feel good about it. I think we're progressing in the direction we want to go, but we're going against the so-called New Americans team, the Detroit Lions.
Funny how that works, huh?
Hey, man, listen, people get tired of something and they just reframe it or tell a lie and try to make it seem like it's the truth.
Exactly, man, exactly. Chris, I feel like, and I'm not sure if you saw the thumbnail for this video yet, I feel like this game is must win for both teams.
Why you say that?
I say that because both teams could be easily eliminated from playoff contention by the end of Thursday. The Cowboys, because we have to catch the Eagles as well as Detroit, among other teams, and a few other teams. And a slow start to the season makes it so we basically have to win out, right?
Okay.
Detroit, on the other hand, has to compete with Dallas and Chicago, who's number one in the conference right now, alongside Green Bay. So they got 3 teams in their division that could go pretty hard, right?
Okay.
So this is a very decisive game for both teams. Now, you may find me saying that for every game that the Cowboys go into for the rest of the year, right? But this is a unique case where it's the same 5 opponent.
I'm with you in a sense, whereas if you look at the NFL playoff picture right now, Detroit is number 8, we're number 9, and you're basically jockeying for positions. But if the playoffs were to start today, you got a Seahawks team that is a 9-3 football team.
Very good team.
Packers, who are 8-3-1, and the 49ers are 9-4. So I don't count this as an elimination game. But because I have a half game, I got a 1.5 game lead in front of me in the division, and there are other teams that are playing that are going to still have to play games. I just feel this as I handle the controllables. You know, it's one of my favorite statements. You control the controllables. Handle what's in front of you. You deal with it and you move forward. So, every game from this point forward, we said it before, is a playoff game. You can't get to 7 losses. Once you get to 7 losses, it's totally over. 6, you got to have some different wonky things that end up happening. Yeah. But handle your business and you can move forward. So you got an opponent who has not been who they were last year. Remember last year, this was a 15-2 football team.
Yeah,
you know,
one of the top offenses in the league.
Yeah, one of the top offenses in the league. Utterly unstoppable. Now they've kind of come back to earth a little bit, and so now we get a chance to play them. I like our chances in this game. Tell me what you think.
I think this is also a team that over the last 2 years, injuries have hurt them more than anything. Last year against Dallas, Aiden Hutchinson, had that season-ending injury, and then this year, it's a whole bevy of injuries that are stopping them. So I think that they know how to play, off of their back foot. Dealing with adversity and things like that. Definitely not ones to be taken lightly. And I think that's the Dan Campbell effect. I think that Dan Campbell allows Detroit to be a very tough, a gritty football team. And I could see this being like a coaching battle in a lot of ways.
Well, I think the culture, I think the culture there with Dan Campbell is tough, gritty, feisty. We're always in the mix of things. We're going to be aggressive. If it's 4th and 3, hey, we're going to go for it because we're going to trust our guys our guys are better than yours type thing. And so that is true. But I think they have also another advantage because it's a home game. Last time they played, it was Thursday at home. They lost, but they've been at home the whole time. So they've slept in their own beds. They've walked to the facility. They've been in their own environment. So that's the one advantage I give them out the gate is it's at home. But I think you have a veteran 7 team, the Cowboys coming in, and I don't think it's going to be as daunting as we would initially. When we saw this schedule come out back in July, we looked at this as um, a dead man's run. You were going to you want to get all your wins ahead of time to the point where we had these chances that if we end up losing, we could take some losses to these teams because we stacked so many wins. That wasn't the case. We have now been on a 3-game winning streak. So, and everything is kind of leveled out a bit. So I have a real good feeling about this football game tomorrow.
Yeah. I definitely think that there's a lot to be excited about, to have good feelings about. So we gonna handle this in our normal format. First we're gonna talk about Dallas's offense versus Detroit's defense, and then we're gonna talk about Dallas's defense versus Detroit's offense.
Okay.
That'll give us a clear-eye view to kind of see the areas where the Cowboys are strong and where they may be not as strong against the Lions. And because of all of the success that we've been having, I think that it's only right that we start with the Cowboys offense.
Okay.
Chris, George Pickens had an interview on I want to say Monday, talking about his slant routes and how he's seen so much success with them. And one thing that I thought was interesting, because I went ahead and did a little bit of research. Once people started talking about Pickens and slant routes and trying to hint that, that's the only thing that he could do, Pickens runs the slant route less than 10% of the time. It was 9% of the time that Pickens actually runs that slant route.
Okay.
Which is much less than a lot of the guys that have a lot of success with it, right? But the thing about it is, when Pickens runs the route, it is successful 61% of the time.
Okay.
He catches that slant route 61% of the time. So, like when he is running it, it's like they going to him. They're doing it for a purpose, not just as a distraction.
So if you're saying, if you throw it 6 out of 10 times, he's going to catch it.
Yep.
And that's good going against a Lions team. I was looking up their stats. I was looking over the day and looking at everything they were doing. Yeah. Their total defense they're 14th in the league. They give up about 316 yards a game. Yeah. And the total yards against is like their 9th. So they're like, I think what EPA is, average play per average. There's about, that's what they were at. So the statistics I was looking at.
In the
layman's terms, yeah, they're 13th. So this is a upper tier defense. From watching them, they're really gritty against the run, and which makes you have to try to go against that on their outside against the cornerbacks and safeties. And so, that's going to be a challenge. That's going to be a challenge for them. But like you said, with the offense, our offense going against them, you're going to have to choose your poison. Are you going to say, okay, we know he runs a slant route, so now that George knows you're playing him for the slant, he can always, run a route to get him open outside the slant, because you can do a slant, you can do a sluggo, you can do so many different things off of it. But the one thing about George that I've noticed, and I don't know if you noticed as well, where he wants to go get the ball, he's gonna use that big frame of his and go get the ball and put himself in position to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely right. And when you also look at the Lions over like the last few weeks, that generally their defense is one that is led by that front, with Aiden Hutchinson, with DJ Reader,
right?
And other guys like they just drafted Tyleik Williams in the first round this year, right? So their defensive front is where you expect them to have the most success. That hasn't necessarily been the case in the last 3 to 4 weeks. Last week they didn't sack Jordan Love at all.
Okay.
And then the 3 weeks before that, they had a combined team total of 4 sacks.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
They haven't been getting to the passer as much as they were in the early part of the season. And that's interesting because they're not really hurt in the front of that defense like that. Okay,
so their front seven is pretty healthy. The game I was sitting up watching earlier today when I was, kind of getting ready for our show, I watched them again. They struggled against the Giants. had to go into overtime in that game,
Yep.
and then they turned around and had the game against the Packers,
Yep.
where they didn't, like you said, they didn't get Jordan Love to the ground once, and their secondary was kind of taken advantage of.
Yep.
So, where you're in a game where they're very stingy against the run. Like I said, they're upper top 15 team against the run. It's going to really be to the point you don't want to get overly pass happy, which Brian has done in the past, but stay committed to the run, but then mix it in enough so that you can get the kind of looks you want to on the outside. Like you said, I think one of their top DBs is Terry Allen.
How do you pronounce dude's name?
Yeah, T. Allen.
Yeah. Dang, how do you pronounce dude's
Yeah,
name?
go ahead, wordsmith. Go ahead, Captain.
Dang, how do you pronounce Buddy first name? Excuse me. It's like Tyrion or Tehran or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Allen. T. Allen. Yeah. That's his name. Because we don't want to upset nobody. T. Allen is going to be out. So you take one of their top defenders, especially projected, highly drafted and projected starter out. You put them at a disadvantage. Yeah, that's going to bother you, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to really bother you. I see that. So Allen being out, it's going to put a little more pressure on that secondary to do certain things. You're either going to turn around and try to help out on that side, which leads to the point of having one-on-one matchups with whomever is opposite of him, as well as takes your safety out the box. But he's coming back from the suspension of a game, Brian Branch. So Brian Branch comes back. He's going to be suspended. He is at high level safety, very, very productive. So you get him back, little chip on the shoulder, but I think you have the advantage to you is in the passing game here. My problem with our offense at times is we get a little bit too pass happy.
I think so sometimes, yeah. But it can't really be but so much, right? Because if you think about it, Javonte Williams is 6 yards and touchdowns on the ground. So yes, they do get a little pass happy sometimes, but I think that they know when and how to lean on the run game. I think what kind of holds them back a little bit with that is, and of course talking about Dallas, the thinness at running back 2.
Yeah,
I think that's what holds them back a little bit.
But I also understand that in a game like this where you're going to have an aggressive side with Dan Campbell and his offense against our defense, and that's his nature. I don't want to get over.
We definitely going to get to that.
Yeah, I don't want to get over aggressive, thinking I have to score on every possession to keep pace. Because what they've shown us in the past is that on these last couple of weeks, that defense can be worked against and can be scored upon. And you got opportunities.
Absolutely. I do think that while Tehran Arnold, I'm gonna just say Tehran. I'm gonna forget that I is there because it's throwing me off. Right. With Tehran Arnold being out with that season-ending injury, and Kirby Joseph not necessarily playing as well. I think that he's hurt guy too. Yeah, we could take advantage of him deep, especially if DJ Reed continues to not necessarily be the guy that he was and things like that, and then just finding the scrub with the second cornerback. Now Brian Branch is still a dude. Brian Branch is still a very good defensive player. But I think that if you can kind of do the same, I'll call it like tricky pin and pull stuff that we've been doing on offense. Getting Cooper Beebe out to B gap and stuff like that, and having him really stretch that pocket for Dak like we've been doing. You can have a lot of success throwing because, and I like that like the mainstream sports media is kind of just catching on to this. Our O-line is allowing Dak to have the widest pocket possible by pulling our guys out and getting them to extend things, and then Dak Prescott creating so much vertical and horizontal space from the defender with his savvy movement. And the Lions have been able to be had by teams that take advantage of things like that. Now, I think that if you're gonna, one thing that you said earlier in the year, Chris, you said that the Cowboys have to pass to open up the run. I think that this could be a game where that is the place, because usually it's the opposite. You run to open up the pass via things like play option and stuff like that. I think that the opposite is going to be true this game.
That's gonna be your hope. That's gonna definitely be your desire. That where you're saying, hey, let's run, cause them to be more to pay more attention to the run and then be able to take advantage and win the pass. Is that what
Yeah.
you're thinking? That's what you're hoping to have happen?
Yes.
I mean, that's gonna be the one where you're gonna be able to work against them because, like I said, they've been extremely stingy against the run.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go back to the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
Let's look against hold on. Let's look at the statistics that we saw against the the Lions. I mean, against
Packers.
the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to go back to see what they did against. Hold on. I want to see what they did against the when they did it against the Giants. That's why I was trying. That's why I was looking up while I was sitting. Why going over so eloquently how they've been going, how they've been doing
So the Giants
against the Lions. Yeah, against the Lions, they turned around
Mm-hmm.
and they gave up. I mean, they weren't horrible. They gave 20 carries. They gave 62 yards to
But
teach.
the thing about it is the Lions started off very sloppy in that first half. Jared Goff got sacked twice and things like that. And I think that was by a rookie not named Abdul Carter. What was dude's name? Darius Alexander. He got to Goff early.
But I'm just talking about their defense though. Their defense, their defense. We're talking about their defense. You're talking about their defense. Tracy had 62 yards. Singletary had 47 yards. They didn't get. They have been susceptible to the pass though.
Yeah. So if you look, they had that trick play, like you said.
Right, the one trick play.
Gunnar Olszewski threw that pass. I do think that they
who threw a pass?
Gunnar. What is dude's name? I don't
know. Jason. No, I'm talking about when they played against the Giants. Jameis Winston threw a long touchdown on them.
Yeah, but remember, Jameis Winston caught the touchdown too.
Okay.
From Gunnar Olszewski. Man, names got me in a chokehold today. I think it's
okay.
Olszewski.
Yeah, he did. Okay, he did.
Yeah. Now, that's one of those one in a million type things. I wouldn't fault a team in the long run because they fall prey to a trick play like that. And don't get me wrong, that was an amazing effort play by Jameis Winston. But I do think that their defense allowed a lot of, and Chris will be right back. He's just dealing with some technical issues. I think that the Lions defense allowed a lot of unnecessary big plays, and that's kind of what you get with Jameis Winston, right? Of course, you got those 30 for 30 moments with Jameis Winston. And even if you look at more recently their loss versus the Packers, Josh Jacobs was able to break a lot of big runs inside. And I think that might be the area where the Lions can be had because you got DJ Reader there, of course, but Aleem McNeil hasn't necessarily been the same guy this year. So that could be an area where Dallas looks to take advantage, with Williams, and coupling that with the Lamb and Pickens show. I could see a lot of situations where this could be like another Jake Ferguson game. Jake Ferguson's been the safety blanket for Dak a lot this year. I said it earlier in the season. Jake Ferguson might be the first tight end to have 100 catches and like 700 yards. Because for the most part this year, he hasn't really been like a yak guy, which is funny. Excuse me. One of the issues that I think could really hurt Dallas is that we're dealing with another game without Tyler Guyton. And that's not really too much of a shot against Nate Thomas, but Tyler Guyton has shown a lot of progress this year. He's definitely shown that he can be an NFL starter, and losing him when you're going against a tough edge rusher like Aiden Hutchinson is definitely something to watch out for. And with earlier in the year, you know, like how we call Dallas Disneyland, you know, the place where dreams come through. You know, where teams can get their get right game. I don't want to make it easy for Detroit's premier player to have his get right game, and you do that by having a backup tackle. And Dallas's in bookends, our tackles, are already kind of our weak spot. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out on. Let me go back here right quick. I want to check something out. With Kirby Joseph being out, I'm not sure if the Lions would do a lot of too high stuff. Just because I'm not sure how much they would trust like Avonte Maddox or Thomas Harper to be their second guy in the deep backfield. Let me adjust my mic right quick. So I would expect maybe more single high stuff with Brian Branch high. But I do think that no matter what, you kind of got to pick your poison when it comes to Lamb and Pickens. And while Chris is coming back, I do want to take a second to talk about the Lions offense versus the Dallas defense. I think that with Amon-Ra St. Brown possibly being out, that makes things a little bit easier for your defense, especially your secondary, where you don't quite have Trevon Diggs back. He's working back from what is now called a knee issue alongside his concussion. So you got to look for ways to help your defense out. And the way that you do that is by getting... Oh, he's back. There we go.
Bro, I'm sorry. Hey, listen, it was a ringing noise in my room, and so I thought it was my fire detector. I thought it was something. It was my other earbud. No, it's my other earbud in the case. So it was getting the feedback from either the music or us talking, and as soon as I opened up the case, it stopped. I thought something was going crazy. But you were doing an eloquent job. You still should have stayed on. You still should have stayed on the offense versus defense. You switched on me.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. No. Yeah. Chris, talk about that Detroit defense. I was filling space while you was coming back, brother.
Yeah. No, what we were going on is saying where they had been lacking. We started, and you were talking about who was out. So going back to who may be out for them this week, you turned around.
Yeah, so Kirby Joseph and Teron Arnold. I think that's where you can take advantage of them deep, because I'm not sure if they will play more too high when dealing with a backup safety. That's asking for trouble. You know what I'm saying? So instead,
absolutely,
I would bolster the front.
Okay,
I would bolster in front of those safeties. You know, and play a lot of single.
I mean, I think that makes sense. What you're saying with that definitely makes sense. I've just been seeing them as of late, going back as far as, like I said, I looked when we do our breakdowns and start looking at these teams. I'm looking at how they were, or how they've been playing for the last couple of weeks. Okay. And so, like I said, they had they had this kind of tough game where they were playing with the Eagles, and you know, with the Eagles in that game, you know, 19-6, the offense was anemic, but they turned around and they gave up a big game. Well, not really big game, because you can never say the Eagles have a big game offensively.
Sure.
Go ahead. Oh, you said sure. Yeah, you said sure. So you had, you know, Sun God St. Brown, 7 catches. Dotson had a couple. Goddard had a couple, and they turned around and got out of that game. But when they turned around the following game against, that's what I was saying, against the Giants, that was when I was saying their defense has just, you know, kind of been, you know, a sieve. Like I said, they gave up 366 yards to Jameis Winston.
Yep.
They gave up 366 yards.
That's kind of what you get with Jameis, though. You get those 30 for 30 moments with Jameis, where sometimes he'll throw a dot, the other times he'll throw it to wherever he was looking.
True.
And a lot of times that could be to the other team.
It can be.
Now, what was the issue? Like you said, 34 points and making it to overtime. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Against what is considered a weaker Giants team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A team that's having, disciplinary issues with their top draft pick, like you were trying to say. But it
Yeah.
was just to the point where 34 points, having to get to overtime in your building. In your building just isn't the mark of a team that's just ready to go up against a more higher powered offense as the Cowboys offense is. So that's why I'm saying I feel like we want to say we want to run to set up the pass, but I honestly believe we need to run to supplement the pass, not to set it up, just to supplement it. Because I think this defense is susceptible to be taken advantage of.
Okay. Okay.
They're out here getting handled by Waddell Robinson, T. Johnson. Just some no name guys, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following week when they played against the Packers,
Yeah,
like you said,
their defense was a shell against the
man,
Packers, man.
Jordan Love was out there looking like the reincarnation, of a young Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
18 for 30, 234 and 4 tuds.
Mm-hmm.
So the secondary is looking like, barbecue turkey, fried turkey out there,
Yeah.
and with a little sauce on it. So I'm looking for our offense to be able to do what we want to in the pass. And I think they're going to try to overcompensate with the pass, which may lead us to having maybe, getting the run game a certain kind of way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And for what it's worth, that's kind of how things have been. I think the teams will sell out against that pass to, just let Dallas beat them on the ground. And Javonte Williams has been doing that. He's been getting 65, 80, 85 yards in these last few games. And he's already having a career year for himself. He has more yards right now than he's ever had in a full year.
True.
So I think that Dallas is up to that challenge because we don't really have a slouch at running back. You know what I'm saying? Javonte Williams is still top 10 in rushing. He's sixth right now in yards and tied for sixth in touchdowns.
True.
So they can do that if they want to, but they'll just pay for it. I just don't think that they can run their base defense in the way that they want to anymore because they'll usually play with two like real linebackers and just have four guys up front.
Right.
They're not going to be able to have as many DBs back there because of the injuries that they're dealing with.
That's true.
You're allowing more scrubs to be taken advantage of.
Indeed. And so I'm with you all the way on that. I think you're going to be able to be effective running the ball. Saquon Barkley had a decent day against them. Tracy had a good day against them. I think Javonte Williams with a whole week off from work. You know how you are when you take a week, like you were when you went on your cruise. You came back refreshed, revived, ready to go, things of that nature. And I think Javonte will have a good day. If Javonte gives me 100 yards rushing, I think we win this game by 3 scores.
If you can get 80 from Javonte and another 40, 45 from whoever our running back 2 is, it'll probably be Malik Davis again. I think that you'll have a very, very efficient day. Give me that one chunk play from Malik Davis along with a couple of stable other runs from him. Man, what?
I don't even need chunk plays from Malik. I need carries. I need 7 to 10 carries to take that load off Javonte. But if Javonte can give me what he's normally giving me, I think he's averaging about 78, 80 yards a game.
Something like
that. He hasn't had that 100-yard breakout game in about 2 or 3 weeks. I think if I can get that from him this week, I think that'll give me the balance I want and the ability to kind of wear down that defense and keep away from their offense, because their offense is still a very explosive offense.
It is.
And so that's kind of what I want to be able to get from them.
And I'll say this: their offense is still high power, even if Amon-Ra isn't there. They've learned how to feature Jameson Williams.
Yes.
And he's been a very good receiver for them.
Absolutely.
Sam Laporta has been very good.
Right.
It's just they allow themselves to fall behind. And I'm not sure if that's a Dan Campbell issue. I don't remember what their defensive coordinator name is. Forgive me. Kelvin Shepherd. There we go.
Got you. Okay.
If Kelvin Shepherd, falls behind and doesn't know how to allow his defense to give his offense just that one extra drive, then that's why they'll turn around and lose.
Right. That's true. I think, but here's my issue. I don't need my team to play. I don't want them to play from behind in this situation. I think their defense is stout enough that once they get a lead, they continue to pile it on. I don't think you're going to have the deficiencies from their offense against our defense as the other two opponents have had. The other three opponents, last three opponents didn't have the ability to score a lot, and they were able to kind of figure some things out against the Eagles and the Chiefs to stifle them in the second half of the games.
Yeah. I kind of do want to, we've been, kind of touching on it a little bit, but I do want to talk about this Lions offense and what Dallas's defense can do to stifle them. Chris, you already know my favorite running back in this league is Jahmyr Gibbs. I've been a fan of him since he was drafted.
No, I'm just going by, like, every week we get this running back that you're crazy about. Like last week it was.
Now already no.
Hold on.
I said you
go
already
ahead.
know. I've been a Jahmyr Gibbs stan.
I
wanted him in the Cowboy uniform.
Okay. We'll talk. Yeah, you have this affinity for running backs right now, but I totally understand that. Understand.
Let's not get too crazy.
You got a little bit.
Do I have to get the chart?
No, all I'm saying.
I have the chart.
All I'm saying is you got this affinity for these guys. But before we switch, I just want to deal with the one area on our offense that I worry about against them. And it's because my left tackle is out again. Tyler Guyton is out. Right. And I think I did slightly when I was looking for this beat. So with Tyler Guyton being out, I'm going to rely on Nate Thomas to hold his own because I'm going to
You already know that they're going to try to find the scrub.
Right. But I think Aiden is usually on the right side. He's not on the left side dealing with the left tackle. So he's going to come from the opposite side working against Terrence Steele.
You think he wouldn't say, you know what, today I'm gonna be different?
I mean, he could try, but I think our tight ends again are gonna have to be, willing and able and stellar, help blockers. So I'm looking for. Go ahead.
You get a lot of benefit from Javonte when it comes to that. Javonte Williams is a dynamic, a fierce blocker.
Yeah, that he is. But I kind of want to use my bigger body guys. Maybe I get some Hunter Lemke on the chip. Can I get some Brevin Stanford with a chip? A little help out because he's a big body. And I just want to be able to go from both sides. Hey man, Luke, I need you, man. Use the force. Use something.
The good thing about this is they've been doing that, through a good portion of this year.
Right.
They've been bringing these guys, into chip. They've been using Span Forward on the field. He didn't just have that one touchdown and that was it. He's been a blocking guy for quite often in this year. Same thing with Hunter Lipke. We joked earlier in the year how they paid Hunter Lipke just for him to be blocking.
Right.
But yeah, against one of the premier pass rushers in the league, I may need him.
Right.
But having Tyler Guyton out another week, we were able to have a sigh of relief that Nate Thomas did well last week.
True.
And the Chiefs have Chris Jones playing everywhere. He's not just an interior guy.
Right.
And then you got guys like George Karlaftis. We didn't really hear their names called too much.
No, we didn't. We did not at all. So whereas you're worried about Aiden Hutchinson, but you also got to worry about the gangster they have inside and DJ Reader, and things of that nature. So it's another chance for the GCG committee, our guard center guard committee, to show up strong. Chance for Cooper Beebe, another chance for Tyler Smith as well as the young buck, Tyler Booker, to show off their blocking and be able to turn around and take care of some things.
Yeah, I agree. And thankfully that's the strength on our team. And the Lions are generally a bit weaker on the interior of their defensive line. So I think you're gonna be able to get a lot of push in the run plays, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, listen, um, I'm hoping so. I'm
Yeah.
just saying they have been such a good team against the run. Um, that's gonna be the test right there for us to try to maintain balance.
hmm Um, excuse me.
Go ahead, bro.
I think that this has been. I'm not gonna say a down year for DJ Reader, but he hasn't been as successful in years past. He hasn't been downright bad or anything.
Right.
But I can think of names above him at the nose who have been more efficient, more powerful, better against the run and pass, honestly, than him this year. Like I can't think of any outstanding tackles, sacks, pressures, etc. that he's had this year. I don't think that he's gotten a sack, but that's not his bag. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's a run stopper.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, as far as great run snaps, great run stops, etc. It's easy for that to go over your head this year because he hasn't been his usual self, his previous self.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's that. I'm going by what statistics are telling me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to overlook it and then what, because we've done this in the past. Oh man, I don't know about this guy, and then we turn around, we look up that week, man, this guy's having a great day. So being that he's out there, like you said, they do have some guys that are out. You said Kirby was going to be out. He's already marked out as being out, and they got questionable with Brian Branch with his toe and ankle, but I think he's going to give it a go. That's gonna be good for him. But I think defensively, they're formidable. They're very much formidable. I think people are kind of giving them more benefit of the doubt. Excuse me, because it's a home game, and they just believe the Lions are that squad, and probably thinking they're probably up to the point of now saying, the Cowboys are fool's gold. So we'll be able to definitely see on tomorrow night about that.
Yeah, sure. Anything else about this defense?
Nothing about the defense, man. They okay. I'm looking. It's going to be a good game. I think they're going to give us a challenge. Definitely a strong challenge.
Chris, I think that if the Lions are going to beat the Cowboys, it's going to be in the hands of Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that he's probably the most dynamic player on their team.
Okay.
You know, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Go back to it. Yeah. So you got
Jahmyr Gibbs was my guy.
He's your guy.
Yeah. See, there we go. And I think that he has success on the ground and in the air. I will say about half of the year, they started off kind of splitting carries with him in Montgomery at the beginning of the year, but they've started to feature him more now.
Absolutely. Heavily.
And so that's going to be the area that I think this Dallas defense has to watch out for. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is my 2025 version of Marshall Faulk. I think he's the straw that stirs the drink. He gets things going for that offense. When they go and they drop back, they're going to fake it to him. If they're going to look downfield first, if they don't have anything downfield, they're going to swing it out to him in the flat and be a running back, a running back and be a guy in space who's hard to tackle. He's not an easy guy to bring to the ground. He's very shifty, very explosive. He can make a guy miss, take it to the house. He is dynamic. So Jahmyr Gibbs is the guy you must stop in this offense. Yeah.
And I do think that we can stop him up the middle. I think they would have a long day if they try to do any running up the middle.
Absolutely.
Cowboys got a three-headed monster at defensive tackle right now. What I really don't want them to be able to get a rhythm in is kicking it to the outside.
Right.
Because our edge rushers are they're getting better. But, if we were to have a weak point on that defensive line, it's the bookends, right? And then you're dealing with the fact that Clowney is questionable and stuff like that.
Right.
So that can give you a hard day, man.
I think they're definitely going to make sure they try to keep it outside. Their center, Graham Glasgow, is been questionable with a knee injury. That's why they tried to get Frank Ragnow to come back out of retirement. When he did, and when they found out he failed the physical, That's why they couldn't bring him back. So they're ailing with trying to run in between the tackles. They're going to try to get him to the outside. That's where the Cowboys defense is definitely going to have to be sure tacklers. It's not so much as fast as running fast to the ball, but when you get there, you're a sure tackler. That's where guys like Overshown can't allow his speed to overrun things. Lewifield, when he gets an opportunity, make tackles to be a sure tackle. And man, Kenneth Murray, just getting away, slow him down. So another sure tackler. So it's going to be a lot of game tackling on him this week.
Yeah. So you mentioned Kenneth Murray. I wonder if if because you're dealing with the backfield that can have a lot of confusion in it, that has a lot of variety, is this going to be a game where you might see a little bit more Logan Wilson because he has the more cerebral part of the linebacker position down? Are you going to see more Logan Wilson than Kenneth Murray, or which one do you think is going to go towards?
I definitely want to see more Logan Wilson than Kenneth Murray, especially in a game where you have to be your eye discipline has got to be elite, because Detroit's going to want to fool you with eye candy, get you going one way, misdirection you back the other way. Jared Goff loves the play action. If he can get you to play action where it's to the point you're peeking into the backfield and then his wide receivers can get loose. Even though Sun God St. Brown, I never liked to call him his full name, but Sun God St. Brown is got an ankle. He has a chance of playing. J-Mo is a dynamic, explosive guy. So I think this is a chance where, man, you got to be disciplined in what you're seeing and run and play your assignment the proper way. If not, they get guys running wide open with all different things they do on offense.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we're just talking about the backfield. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got really to the receiving core yet.
Right.
But as much as I do think Logan Wilson's mind will help at the linebacker position, just like you always, Chris, I told you, I'm subscribing to your manner of thinking that these knee injuries are 12 to 18 month injuries, right? So he's not gonna be quite back yet. He's kind of like a player that preps for next year. So Kenneth Murray might need to be there, just trying to play devil's advocate towards myself. He might need to be there because he can move. Logan Wilson can see it, but his body can't get there fast enough.
Listen, but at least when he sees it, he knows the right direction to go.
Yeah.
Kenneth Murray can see it, smell it, taste it, feel it, and it's still a 5-yard game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be 5 yards past him before he even decided to make a move on it. So I'm going to have to kind of pick my poison, to say the least, when it comes to my linebacker play. I really don't want Keith Murray on the field. Kenneth Murray, whatever. I don't care what party he's at. I don't care where the party's at. He ain't going to be near the football.
Yeah.
But I don't need Kenneth Murray playing as many downs or playing many snaps for us because I can't trust him.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing about it. He's got a body, he's willing, he's able, but I can't trust him to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. See, and
I know you fight me on this. I know you're fighting with me on this because you're like, yeah, but Logan isn't fully recovered. I know, but even a 50.
That's the way that you think.
Hey, man,
I'm using your.
Hey, listen, 75%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Logan Wilson is better than 100% Kenneth Murray.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wish that we can kind of have a little bit of versatility with Marist. But him and Overshown kind of play with that hair on fire kind of thing. So you can't have two wheels on at the same time.
No, you can't. I need to kind of flip them in and out. I need my hair on fire guy. I just need my cerebral guy to do what he can, and I'm going to really rely on my defensive tackles, my front end, Izaraku being a speedy young guy, Fowler when he's in there. Hey, Sam Williams, can you keep showing up like you have been these last couple of weeks? Because my linebacker room still isn't 100% right now.
You might be forced to see a little bit more Sam Williams if Clowney doesn't play.
Okay. And right now, last 3 weeks, I haven't had a problem with that. Sam's starting to get it. Sam's starting to understand what he's supposed to do. Sam's handling certain things he's supposed to be able to do. So I just need to keep Sam trending in that direction.
Mm-hmm. And it's so interesting, right? You've been seeing a lot less of your down roster guys like your James Houston, like your Fowler. And not necessarily due to skill, it's just because, Clowney got into football shape. So that propelled him up. Donovan Ezeraku, is looking very good for a rookie. Saying
right, he's moving in the right direction
himself
right,
and stepping into that starter role. You know what I'm saying? Sam Williams, of course, like we just previously talked about, handling that added responsibility well. We haven't really had to call on Dante Fowler and James Houston as much.
Well, Dante Fowler's been playing. He got a big hands to the face penalty on Thursday.
Yeah.
So, it's that's kind of how they've been dealing with their situational pass rusher. Houston is a situational guy. But as Araku has started to emerge more, it's kind of pushed him back to the back because they want to get him those snaps to get those reps so he continues to move in the right direction. So, but I think it's a time and place for all of that. You're trying to play for 8 more games. So every game, one guy's gonna maybe step up and have an opportunity to make a play. So I'm not too much worried about Houston. I think Houston's gonna make his plays when he needs to. Fowler's going to be the situational guy to be that. And this week, you don't have an elusive, get out the pocket, run shifty type of quarterback. Jared Goff's going to get to the point, stay at the point, live at the point, so you can sack him at the point.
Okay, yeah. I like that manner of thinking. Talking about the Lions receivers, and this Cowboys secondary.
Go ahead. What you thinking?
Dealing with Jameson Williams, I think, is going to be your hardest issue, because I think that he is an extremely versatile guy.
Mm-hmm.
They can feature him down the field, get him the ball in space, all types of stuff. We lucked out with Amon-Ra being out, with Sam Laporta being out. Matter of fact, the Lions are going to be without their top 3 tight ends. So we're actually going to be dealing with tight end 4 and below.
Right.
We probably going to see a practice squad guy, something like that, come onto the field.
Right.
At tight end, because I don't think a team really carries 4 or 5 tight ends on the 53. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are practice squad guys. So I do think that we lucked out when it comes to that, but that doesn't mean that you get lax when it comes to guarding, the guy that they've been featuring for the last few weeks.
Well, no, I think, like you said, with the ankle injury with Amon St. Brown, he's questionable. He's questionable. So there's a good chance.
I don't think he plays because he hasn't practiced yet.
Okay. Yeah, but I think they're trying to see if he's a go on Thursday. He's a real tough guy, so he may try to give it a go. But if he doesn't, if they're just dealing with J-Mo's explosive enough to be a problem. That's why I think they're going to really rely a lot more on Gibbs running the football, trying and seeing if we're truly back with the run game. If they're going to try to feature Montgomery and Gibbs, if we're not able to stop the run and they've got to really just rely on J-Mo, I think we have a great chance of containing him, not stopping him, just containing him. My only problem is right now you've got Malik Hooker, who's got a bad back. And he's going to be, he's hurt. So I'm worried about him and who I have as my next safety up in that situation. So I don't want to get caught out there with inexperience on that.
Yeah. With Malik Hooker out, it's probably going to be like another Elijah Clark game or something like that.
Okay.
Not the best situation.
Because
we've gotten a chance to see him. We've gotten a chance to see Wanye. We've gotten a chance to see a lot of different guys.
Yeah, man. It's really, Yeah, go ahead.
Remember when we were praying, okay, man, we got to get a chance to see these other guys, got to get Malik and Dono out of here. Both of them got hurt, and we were like, man, look, when is Malik and Dono coming back? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're right, bro. You asked for it, you got it, and then you realize my safety for the future ain't on this team. He might be in college somewhere.
Yeah.
He's definitely in college. He's definitely in college.
He's either in college or on somebody else's roster.
Somebody else's roster, yeah. That's where it's at. So
Hey Chris. You know it was a safety that I liked a few years ago. Who's about to be a free agent now. Good old our Darius
You
Washington.
talking about itty bitty?
Hey man,
You ain't
look,
talking about
look.
it.
Hey
You ain't
man,
talking
look.
about itty bitty, man.
Yeah,
You ain't talking about itty bitty,
you
man.
know, I'm another
Huh?
one of my guys. Another one of
Oh,
my
okay,
guys.
okay, okay. All right, all right.
Hey, Darius Washington.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know how you feel. Have your affection for, it. But what is strange
hmm
is you got an affection for small safeties, but not small running back.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
I mean, safety
I-
got a hit. You know what I'm saying?
okay,
You
okay.
can if you the one doing the hitting and not the one getting hit. You know
Uh,
what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a difference.
okay, okay. All right, okay.
Yeah,
That's what's
yeah.
up. I got you. I got you. I'm feeling it. Okay, but carry on, my guy. Carry on.
Um, I I do think that getting Overshown back and having him having weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks under his belt has been phenomenal, right?
Right.
He's still showing that he has that speed and all of that, and for him to be back so soon off of a second everything CL, you know what I'm saying? Is
True.
great, great.
Hey
Um,
man,
have
he's
they
trending.
have
He's
he has
trending
he
in the right
still been on
direction.
the snap count?
I think he has. I think he has been on a snap count. So here, that's why you kind of want to continue to ease him into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and that's been able to keep Lou Fowl at goat status snaps.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you want to kind of maybe turn him up a little bit more
Yeah.
as we get down, but I don't want to just throw him full fledged into the fire until we have to.
For those that don't know, Chris, explain what GOAT status snaps is.
Oh, I get to tell you what Ghost Snap status is?
Go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Well, I mean, Goat Snap status is if we keep him along the lines of the GOAT, Jeff Heath.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Heath, 25 snaps, the GOAT, there you go. GOAT Heath keeps us to the point where we keep a guy right at 25 snaps. His first 25 snaps, he is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Snap 26 and beyond, he's an absolute liability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so by keeping our linebackers on a rotation, where they're right around that 24, 25, where they're at their ultimate powers and at their peak right now, and as we get further along in the season, we can start revving it up to 30, 35, and going in that direction. But Kenneth Murray, we definitely got him on a strict 20 to 25 snap count. And I'm scared even in those 25 snaps with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's it.
At any point in time,
oh
man,
man,
he can just forget what's going on.
Oh man, he forget where he's at. Well, I'm on a football field, and then you never know. He don't know where he's at. But that's how I feel right now.
I think that the key to this and mitigating any issues behind is getting to Jared Goff as fast as possible. He's been very efficient when he's had time.
Absolutely.
So I think that if you can get him throwing off of his back foot, getting some pressure on him, and I'll preface this by saying I don't necessarily subscribe to the small hand size thing.
Right.
Remember when Goff was coming out, they harped on his hand size compared to guys like Wentz and stuff like that, and all of the other quarterbacks in their draft.
Okay.
But I think that if you can hit his arm while he's throwing, things like that, his throws tend to be a little bit less accurate because he got less real estate that he's working with. You know what I'm saying?
True. I mean, I understand. I mean, he just he's accurate when he can hold it, but he got kind of teeny tiny hands.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing here's my advantage for us. Both tackles, Tyler Decker and Penei Sewell, are questionable. They're having shoulder problems. And so that means that's maybe they may be a little bit more tender or lean a little bit, and maybe we can take advantage of them in some areas. So hopefully, not hoping for anybody to be hurt when we play them, but by this time of the season, everybody's banged up. We're in week 14.
Exactly.
Everybody's banked up. Everybody's feeling
if
it.
Somebody says that they're fully healthy right now, they lying.
They both or they haven't played a lot. They haven't played a lot. So that's the goal. So you're gonna hopefully get something working towards you or to your advantage with both of those guys being hurt right now.
Yeah.
Or not hurt but injured.
Yeah. Personally, I think that both of them play.
Oh no, I definitely think both play.
Yeah, I don't think that these will be injuries that'll hold either one of them out.
Right.
But Graham Glasgow, I think, might miss it. He might miss the game.
Okay. All right.
If so, that lines up exactly where the strength of your defense is.
Absolutely. Yeah, inside. So and so if you can get pressure, so all quarterbacks we know, but basically pure pocket passer that Goff is straight up the middle, which gives us a chance for Q Williams as well as Osa. Osa can get after him and do their magic.
Put all three of them on the field at the same time.
Absolutely.
We've had a lot of success with putting all three of them on the field at the same time. You know,
absolutely.
Getting the guy, you know, even lined out way out of the 5. You know, for those that don't know, the 5 is where you have a guy lined up on the tackles outside shoulder. So
yep.
Your head is lined up at his outside shoulder.
Absolutely.
We've had Osa lined up out there. We've had Quinnen lined up out there. Not necessarily Kenny Clark. You know, but we have had a lot of success with those guys. And then bringing in like a 5th guy. You know,
right?
Like your Sam Williams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lined way out outside at like the 9 or something like that.
Right.
So I do think that if their center doesn't play and if they're working up with what is now going to be a 3rd center for real, because Graham Glasgow was already a backup. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Frank
Santos, Frank Ragnow retired. Right. But now they're working on a 3rd level center because they don't have a guy they can trust.
Mm-hmm. Chris, speaking of Frank Ragnow, he went to that physical, right? And I
was wondering if you was going to ask this. I was wondering if you was going to ask this. Chris, what was you doing?
What were you doing to have
what was you doing?
3?
Right.
Yeah. That's almost what Dak had last year. That hamstring is almost off the bone.
Which is to the point of saying, was that the reason why you retired? And thinking, had you had enough time to get it healed over that time when you retired until now, and it hadn't got back. Chris, that's the crazy part.
I'm not sure if you tapped into like meme culture and whatnot, like I am, because no offense, but I'm a little bit younger than you. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good.
You know those videos of the old man who be grabbing the rib or whatnot, and then just like shaking it off of the bone.
Oh, that ain't got nothing to do. That ain't got nothing to do with age. That just came out. You know, he go around, he take the wrist, slap him, and walk away from him. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that one, man. Yeah,
That's Frank Ragnow's hack.
No, without question. Yeah, that when he slapped Frank Ragnow's hamstring is like, oh my God, it just touched it, ready to fall off, man.
Absolutely. So
it's like that. Yeah, it's a scary situation.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, they were already kind of working with a de facto backup in Graham Glasgow. You know,
absolutely.
But if he's out, they're gonna be stuck with Michael Neese, and it's okay to say who. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's okay to do that. I'll allow it, right? But if that happens, I'm putting Quinnen Williams A-gap all day, and
it works against. So it works against them with getting the run game started with Gibbs or Montgomery. They're gonna be, and if St. Brown can't go, you really put yourself in a really tough situation offensively to get things going. So if you can find, if those guys don't play, and I want everybody to be able to play against me, but if you're hurt when it's time for us to play you, that's a you problem. That's a you problem. Right. So if I can get an opportunity where I can make them one-dimensional, pin my ears back, and get after them, I think it's a great chance for the Cowboys to have a chance to come out with another victory.
For sure.
Yep.
All right, Chris, do you got a score prediction for me?
Okay, Thursday night. What's the point spread? Even though this is a family show, we don't gamble. You got the point spread? What you got?
I can find it.
Go and find it. Because I've been seeing some people say it's like 60-40 Lions for the win. I just want to know what the point spread is. It's a home game on the road in December. Weather's not going to be a factor. What's the spread, boss?
Okay, so the total point spread is a 54.5 total points, with the Cowboys being 3-point underdogs.
3-point underdogs.
So
Man.
what that means is that by you being at home, you automatically get 3 points.
Okay, so it's a pick 'em.
For all intents and purposes, it's a push.
Okay, it's a push. So, being that I'm looking at the Lions being as injured as they are on the offensive line, with their center being injured, both tackles having shoulder issues, and one of their top receivers down, right?
Yeah.
Me coming into it, none of my major cornerbacks are going to be hurt. Even though I'm not going to have Trayvon Diggs, who I was hoping was going to be back, and Malik Hooker is going to be out because of back. 3 points. I'm going to say the Cowboys win, staying on their normal average, 34-21 Cowboys.
That's close to what I was saying. That's close to what I was thinking. I don't think that the Lions have an answer for both Pickens and Lamb.
Right.
I don't even think they can scheme up an answer just because of how hurt their secondary is.
Okay.
I think that you're gonna see a larger margin. I'm gonna say 31-17 Cowboys.
Ooh, okay. So a dominating win.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's because, just like I said, I don't think that they have an answer for our offense.
Okay.
I think that we can have an answer for theirs.
Okay.
Especially due to all of the injuries. Their offense is neutered right now.
True.
They are likely out Amon-Ra. They don't have 3 tight ends.
Okay.
They're possibly gonna miss a center. So yeah, man. I don't really fear what is their receiver now? Isaac Tesla. I don't fear Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? I don't even own a Tesla.
You don't fear Elon, bro?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. I can definitely understand it. So it's gonna be good. Dogs is going crazy if you hear him in the background.
It's all good.
Yeah, you hear him in the background. So definitely, man, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm trending. So we're saying another win for the Cowboys, 4 in a row, and trending in the right direction for another playoff style victory for us.
Yeah. I think that from now until the end of the regular season, every game is a playoff game.
Absolutely.
So I'm just hoping to go 1-0 every week.
1-0 every week, man. 1-0 every week. That's it. Well, man, that's it, man. That's what we wrapping it up for the week, man. We'll watch the game tomorrow. We'll come back on Friday. We'll do a little recap of what happened and what's going on from there, and keep pushing forward, man.
Absolutely. Get us out of here, Chris.
No doubt, man. Listen, man, thank you again for rocking with us, man. We are Frankly Football. Your friendly neighborhood watchers, giving you the best content we can give you about the Dallas Cowboys. If it's not me worrying about a buzzing noise or B checking his waves to make sure they still crispy, man, we in here trying to do. Okay, you got do-rag on. I got you. But we're trying to do our thing, man. But we definitely want you to do the 4 things that we love, man, that helps us do what we do best. To like, to share, subscribe, right? And to comment. If you do that, man, that gets us to be able to interact with you, man. We love y'all, man. We appreciate y'all, man. We thank everything that y'all do for us and the feedback, man. And we them 2 guys, man, that's at the food bank in line, needing a couple cans to make some Vaita sausage and some sardines to keep this thing rocking, man. And we will forever see Frankly Football, man. So until next time, man.
Peace.